What is going on, everybody? Zach RC here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome along to episode 82 of the F1 Ultimate Career Series for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. If you guys did miss the last episode, make sure to go check that out before you see this one. And as always, if you are new around here, then make sure to get subscribed for more future F1 content as the series continues on. So, 2 races then left to go in the 2024 season, and Vegas, our first realistic chance to wrap up the World Championship. Perhaps the round to spare today, of course. We had an outside chance of clinching it in Brazil thanks to the sprint race, but things didn't go too well for us last time out. Of course, lost points to both Norris and gained points on Leclerc, so it's also quite close in the top 3. Verstappen's sort of fallen away now. It's a 3-way title fight going into these last 2 races: Vegas today and Abu Dhabi next time up. Hopefully Abu Dhabi, there'll be no stress for the next Grand Prix. There's the championship standings in terms of myself versus Norris. We need 23 points to win the rivalry, but of course those points don't equate towards the championship. In today's race, all we've got to do is beat Norris by just 1 position, and that'll be enough. We're 25 points in front as it stands, so the 1 point will be enough to put it beyond the reach for Norris. With 1 round left to go, 26 points left to claim after this one. And we'll have a look at the power unit here. Things look all okay on that front. We're going to make some changes, put some fresh parts on the car going into the last few races of the season. So fresh MGUK and potentially a fresh gearbox later on too. We did win the Constructors last time out with McLaren, so title done there. And of course we are 25 points clear of Norris and Leclerc. Outside chance, can still keep it going to Abu Dhabi. Should he have a good result today, but needs to beat both McLarens in order to still stand a chance here. So advancing time and getting closer and closer here to what could potentially be our second World Championship. Of course, lost the championship last time out in 2023, won this race last season, so the only driver to win in Vegas as of right now. So hopefully we'll try to keep that record going, go unbeaten in Vegas in the first 2 seasons. As we have a look here for what would likely be the last upgrades of the season on the car. Just the 1 upgrade, sort of out of resource points here. There have been a lot less upgrades this season compared to last, but just the 1 minor air upgrade. Of course, still fastest car on the block. So without further ado, let's head now to Vegas and get the second to last race of the season underway and try to wrap up our second World Drivers' Championship.
Stand by to see cars at more than 210 miles an hour blasting their way down the strip. F1 has taken over. It's F1 Fever, Las Vegas.
Here we go then, qualifying for the Vegas Grand Prix, set to get underway here on the strip and looking forward to what should be a fantastic session here. Of course, qualifying in Brazil in both sessions wasn't fantastic. We were quite off pace over the course, both sprint qualifying and full Grand Prix qualifying. But hopefully we'll get ourselves back on track here, and of course, at crucial comes to it, try and get ourselves in front of Leclerc and Norris, who have been on it in terms of qualifying this season. Of course, we've taken a pole to ourselves, but not been as strong as those 2 cars. So onto the main straight now, heading up towards turn 17 to start our first flying lap here. Quite a lot of straight line speed required, so a good thing we've got the fastest car on the grid going into this run. Got towards turn 1 now to start our first flying lap into the first corner. Of course, turn 1 leading immediately into turn 2. Our teammate Norris there in front of us, first car out the garage on his flying lap. Going through turn 3 now, long sweeping right-hander in 6th gear there. Corner exit, DRS in play for the run down towards turn 4, end of the first sector. Exit at turn 5, apologies. Making our way towards the braking zone now, gaining on Norris a little bit there. So of course, Norris will be our benchmark in terms of pace for the car this weekend. Hitting the wall there, going through turn 5, but at the end of the first sector, 25.9 is the first split, a green sector 1, and we're looking for a strong run to end the lap here. Further on down the back straight, going down towards the braking zone of turn 14, one of the tighter corners on the circuit. Norris still there in front of us. ERS management not fantastic here, so I had to work on that on our second lap. But going through the chicane here into turns 14, 15, and now 16, and good exit as well. Back on straight line speed again and pushing up towards the line now to complete our first lap. We'll see what sort of time Norris puts in as he comes to the line there in front of us. It will be a 1 minute 31.9 from Norris, 1:32.1 from us. So Norris 6-7 tenths up on us as of right now, just under 7 tenths as it stands. So better first lap for Norris than for us, and work to be done there in our second lap. Quite down the order here to accelerate time, down to P12, a full second off of now Charles Leclerc is on provisional pole. So our 2 main rivals running 1 and 2 right now. Verstappen half second back from pole in 3rd place. But onto our second lap, unfortunately, couldn't find much more pace truthfully. Down a 10th going into turn 14 here. I'm really struggling in terms of quality pace. I'm not quite sure what's happened to us in terms of these single lap sessions in the last couple of races, but things haven't gone fantastically for us. It's costing us on race day in particular. We're coming up towards the line now to complete that second run. 3 tenths down, no real improvement here. It's looking like P13 on the starting grid, one of our worst qualifying performances of the season here. Crossing the line, it's going to take a lot of work for us to try and get up in front of Norris and manage to claim the World Championship with a race to go. But obviously all to play for still in the Grand Prix.
Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix.
So Sainz then takes pole in the end from Leclerc second, Norris in third, then it's Verstappen, Alonso in your top 5, Russell, Alexander Albon, P7 for Williams, Perez, Ocon and Hamilton rounds out the top 10, P13 for us, behind the Sauber of Bottas and the Aston Martin of Stroll. So all to do now in Vegas, but hopefully we can try and get ourselves up the order and try and challenge Norris in the Grand Prix. Let's do this.
Welcome to Las Vegas, and for Formula One, it's welcome back to Las Vegas. No longer do we race in the Caesars Palace car park. Tonight, the time is right to go racing in the street. 17 corners, 3 straights, 2 DRS zones, and the glitz and glamour of Las Vegas as we race around the 3.8 miles of Sin City. The strip has been taken over to become a straight tonight, commanding top speeds of around 212 miles an hour. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. It's Carlos Sainz in pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Verstappen, Fernando Alonso, Albon, Perez, Ocon, Hamilton, Bottas, Stroll, Cohen, Ricciardo, Hülkenberg, Gasly, Joe, Sargent, Magnussen, Tsunoda, and George Russell ends our grid lineup. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And alongside me in the commentary box, my old friend, Anthony Davidson. Now, I'll be generous here. It's not that long ago that you were racing and entertaining us on a Sunday. But in the years since, the sport has changed quite a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has, Crofty. You know, the cars have got bigger, they're heavier, but critically, there's more downforce to play with as well now. There was around 4 tons of downforce on the car at 300 kilometers an hour when I drove. You're now looking more towards 5 tons of downforce. So there's a big difference in performance. But because of that, the car being heavier and bigger, you've got to drive in a smoother way. You've got to look after it a bit more. You've got to nurse it through the slow speed corners more. They were much more nimble, agile machines when I drove in Formula 1 compared to now.
Here we go then, no more talking, time for action for the Las Vegas Grand Prix from P12 on the starting grid, taking advantage of a penalty for George Russell, but still with a chance to try and win the championship with a race to go, or at the very least try and minimise damage going into Abu Dhabi. Strategy for the race, head their medium tyres for the start, first 11 laps, and then hard tyres, 14 laps to the end.
Here we go then, the formation lap gets underway and the excitement here is building as we near ever closer to the start of the race. Which team will come out on top? Who's got their strategies right for today's race? Well, we'll soon find out.
So Sainz then leads Leclerc and Norris on the formation lap. Medium tyres for everyone at the start here, so no outliers, no potential risk in terms of strategy changes for anyone down the order in this race. It should be exciting, everyone on the same tyre and everyone on the same sort of pace.
As the cars come back towards the grid to line up for the start of the race, each driver will be wanting to get the best start they possibly can. And they'll be hoping to finish today's race on the podium, failing that, within the points.
So as I've been saying, we can win the championship today with a good enough finish. If we try and beat Lando Norris by any position, as long as it's a point scoring place, then we will clinch the title with a round to spare. But of course, we've got to remember, stay calm in this race, not to lose too many points, not to lose our heads, should things not go away on the start. Of course, plenty of cars in front of us, plenty of time to work our way through. 25 laps here of the Las Vegas Strip Circuit as the last few cars take their places there. George Russell dead last in P10 thanks to that grid penalty, but there's the two Ferraris on the front row here. Sainz on pole, Leclerc to his left for the run to turn 1. The lights are coming on here in Vegas. Lights out, foot to the floor, go, 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 racing here in Sin City. Good start compared to Stroll on our left there for the run towards turn 1. Hamilton and Bottas on our outside there, passing several cars here up the inside to the first corner. P7 at turn 1. Ocon got a warning for a collision with Ocon. He's on our inside going into turn number 3 here, falling away from it. So Alpine backs off and falls down to P8, P7 for us then. And Albon trying to challenge Alonso there in front, going up towards turn 5 for the first time here. Sainz leading away from Leclerc. Norris there in down to 4th place here. Verstappen's taking him on the start as Alonso and Albon go side by side there through turn 5. Alonso wins out on this occasion. They're trying to take Albon, try to catch him unawares. They're going in towards turn 6 into the braking zone. We go for the Las Vegas Sphere for the first time. Albon gets back in front of us, maintains 6th place for now, but of course long way to go and plenty of time to try and get Albon back here at some point over the course of this first lap. It's pushing further on now out of turn 12 and towards the DRS zone. Of course no DRS this lap, pushing on towards the braking zone down at turn 14. Long back straight here, going towards that left-hander side by side now with Albon, trying to save our battery, trying to use overtake, try and pull in front of him if we can, and try and outbrake him at the corner. Alonso there in P5, Norris challenge Verstappen going in towards turn 14. It's the two Ferraris trying to pull away in front, down towards the braking zone we come here, go back off on ERS and try and outbrake Albon if we can, down the inside into 14 and taking the place away, better lines through 15, 16 and into P6 now, so it's several places gained, 6 places in the first lap alone. Norris there in P4, 2 spots in front of us, try and pass him, try and get this championship on lock, onto lap 2 now, and 2 bubble sections to kick the lap off, and closing Alonso here, DRS in play for us for the first time, but Alonso is DRS2 on the run towards 14, once again, no threat from Albon Ocon behind us, they're staying solid in P7 and P8 fighting each other, going to make our way to the inside of Alonso now, and take P5 away, same way we did knock on, and making the pass stick, going through turns 15 and 16, and now up into 5th, 10 points on the board for us now, and Norris trying to fight Verstappen in front. Of course, Norris, as I keep saying, our main rival, as Alonso is trying to find a way back around us on the outside, can't quite do it, there's no run to make there, and fastest lap for us, 1:34.0 over the line as Verstappen holding off Norris into turn 1. Big train here as opposed to on now to lap 4 heading towards the braking zone of turn 12. It's now Leclerc in the lead, Verstappen second, Sainz third, Norris in 4th place, and we run 5th right behind our teammate going towards the DRS zone once again. Our first chance to try and get around Norris on the run down towards the braking zone at the far end of the circuit. DRS about to be in play for us, rear wing back to open wide here for the run towards turn 14 once more. Keep an eye on Alonso behind us, might try and make a move, keep an eye on the mirrors here as Leclerc holding off Verstappen in second place. Sainz trying to go for second if he can, make our move to the inside of Norris now, going in towards turn number 14, up missing our braking zone there and off into the barriers, and that's a bit of our front wing lost off there. Verstappen now leading away from the 2 Ferraris, and a end plate lost for us on the left side, and that could be critical to our race today. That is huge damage for us, and that could, in fact, that's massive at this sort of circuit. I thought about pitting for a second. We're going to stay out here. We're going to try and maintain this as best we can, but that could be detrimental to us onto lap 5 of this Grand Prix. Norris there in P4, and our chances of perhaps clinching the title are slipping away here as Alonso tries to get away with P5. Truthfully, it's onto lap 7 now. It's manageable for us. The wing isn't a big problem for us. We can try and carry on as we are, and we're not actually losing too much time here, but Sainz pitting at the end of lap number 7 now. Sainz from first place coming into the pits, so not quite sure what the game plan is for Ferrari. Everyone starts on the medium tyres here, so in terms of what Sainz has up his sleeve here, they're going to a second set of medium, so what are Ferrari playing at? That was an unnecessary stop for Sainz. It gives us a free place now, so that's more points for us. So at the very least, if Norris does finish in front of us, we'll try and maintain our points as best we can, because we are 25 in front, and Norris win a 5th place from us right now, put us 15 points back, but Norris in P3 onto lap 10 now, and pushing towards turn 14 DRS zone once again, but just outside of range here, trying to make a move with Alonso. Sainz leading Verstappen on the run down towards 14 again. Red Bull pulling over to the left-hand side. Verstappen's got a problem here. This early on the Grand Prix, Verstappen going back onto the racing line. Max, what are you doing? Maintaining our spot, taking P4 away from Max, and that's it for Verstappen, who, there's no smoke from that car, but it just looks to have conked out on him. So Verstappen hugely slow here as Hamilton leads the train behind, Perez and Ocon in tow behind him, but Max Verstappen, who has really fallen away from the title fight this season, hasn't had as strong a campaign as he has done in the last 4 seasons of Ultimate Career, but Verstappen pulling the car over, and if this World Championship wasn't over, it definitely is now. Max is out, first retiree then of the Las Vegas Grand Prix. We continue on now through turn 3 and 4. Alonso 2 seconds in front of us now, so that whole kerfuffle with Max really got us under pressure and got us moved a little bit there. So pushing towards the end of lap number 11 now, our first pit stop and our only pit stop of the Grand Prix. Coming in, Alonso and Leclerc both pitting. Norris, our teammate, staying out. We're looking to try and change this front wing too, so a much slower stop here in play, but truthfully I forgot about that as I was coming in. So you'll see me here fiddling around with the clutch in the bottom right of the screen as I'm waiting for the wing to change the wing as the car's coming out in front of us there. There goes Albon, there goes Bottas, Ocon making his exit too. There's Hamilton going through, so losing a number of spots here, 7.6 seconds, our slowest pit stop perhaps for the whole series so far. I can't actually record time actually to make a front wing change, but Bottas there in front of us, Albon in front, Ocon in front. So we're now in that train that was behind us going into the pit lane. So work to be done is try and get ourselves up the order to try and limit the damage done by that crash early on in the Grand Prix. So Bottas, our first target here, P17 for us out of the 19 cars still running, of course, a contingent of cars yet to pit at stands, including our teammate Norris has got a big lead there over what I can only assume is Perez in second place now, going into turn 5 on Bottas' tail here as Ocon and Albon go side by side. Lewis pulling ahead in front in P13. Let's try to make a move if we can into turn 7 here, dive into the inside of the Sauber of Valtteri Bottas in towards the sphere and making the move, sticker on the outside of turn 8 and Ocon exit, clearing Bottas and now getting up behind Ocon and Albon. These two cars fighting with P14 here, and further on now down the backstretch towards turn 14 again. Albon trying to make a move on Ocon if he can, but Ocon covers him off and make our move to the inside now, and for the second time in this race, as we've done in the first lap, passing Albon through turn 14 and that's a P15 now. So gaining some more places, and Ocon, of course, will be there in front of him. We'll get a number of more spots when everyone else comes into the pit lane here. On to lap 13, up to P7 now after everyone makes their pit stops. This is our true spot from here on, and Ocon is right there in front of us, our next man on our hit list here. Down the inside of the sphere once again in towards turn 7 and making that pass nice and easy there. The Alpine not putting up too much fight going through the corners. Hamilton now lies ahead of us in terms of our next target in the race for is now P5 in the order, but Sainz may stop again here because he pitted onto a set of medium tyres, so he needs to use a different compound. It'll likely go onto the hards at some stage, but further onto that now, a few corners later, Ocon has come back at us with a fantastic run. DRS in play for him now. And look at the straight line speed advantage he's got there. He wasn't even using DRS as of yet. Going to cover him off towards turn 14, but then moves to the inside. This time we can't cover him off. We've made our one move defensively. Ocon charged up the inside into the braking zone. Can we outbrake him on the outside this time in turn 14? And using turn 15, the better line as advantage to try and squeeze back in front. Only just. So P6 for us for the minute as we pass the halfway stage. On to lap 16 now, and Ocon still giving us pressure to make our way through turn 12 here. The whole train is behind us as it stands. You can see Albon and then Perez and Bottas in that queue. Hamilton now trying to pull away in front, and of course Norris is currently fighting with Leclerc and Alonso for the race win here, so Norris potentially could get our points lead down to as low as 9 points here as Ocon makes the pass for 5th place here, going down towards 14. We try to get a good enough run, try and come back at him here in towards the braking zone. Can't do it for the minute. Has to try and stay in line for now. So Ocon wins out on this occasion, but try and make our way out of the chicane, try and get a better exit. But sliding here, going through turn 16. So Ocon keeps his car in front for now and holds on to P5. And that's crucial for us in terms of those points. We're now losing 2 more points here. We've still got the point for fastest lap, so let's use that to our benefit as best we can. On to lap 17 now, into the last 10 laps of this Las Vegas Grand Prix, and Ocon is there still in front of us. I'm trying to find an opportunity to try and pounce on him there, going into turns 3 and 4. Better run, keeping to the right hand side on the inside there. Ocon goes out off his line, going to take full advantage of that, tap him on the way past, but take P5 back. So Ocon back behind us now, no DRS for him for the minute, so going down towards turn 5, we've got the advantage there. Hamilton 3.6 seconds in front of us, Leclerc 10.1 clear, and Leclerc and Alonso and Norris still fighting for the win here. But on to lap number 18, Leclerc still now down to 2nd place, Alonso leading the way, and in terms of behind us, Ocon is now out of DRS range. We managed to get away from him and Albon, the rest of that train, so we're all safe for now in terms of the cars behind. So it looks like we're safe for P5, short of anything going wrong in these last few laps. So we push on now towards lap 25, the final lap of the Grand Prix. Leclerc has built a massive lead here as he starts going through turn 4 as we begin the last lap for us. It's down to Norris versus Alonso for P2 now, of course. That's 8 points potentially that Norris could gain on us going into the last race in Abu Dhabi, because we've got Alonso's taking our fastest lap too, but up front Leclerc is dominating. And remember, Leclerc still has an outside chance to win this thing, and this might be what he needs to get himself back into range to try and win the title from the long shot. But here comes Leclerc at turn 16 now, 1 corner to navigate, turn 17, that short left-hander towards the finish line, and for another victory for him in 2024, Charles Leclerc wins the Las Vegas Grand Prix and might set himself up for a potential run at the title. Norris comes through to take 2nd place in front of Alonso, so Norris gains 8 points on us here after what's been a very tumultuous Grand Prix and a very long Grand Prix in terms of what we have to deal with tonight. But coming towards the line now, Hamilton P4, P5 for us, and that will keep us in the lead of the points going into the last race. Unfortunately, unable to wrap up the title, so the championship for the 2nd time in Ultimate career history will go to Abu Dhabi, but this time it's myself versus Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc to try and claim our 2nd World Drivers' Championship.
And Leclerc to the line, to the checkered flag. It's King Charles today. He wins. Here come our winners now, a thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again.
So Charles Leclerc then creates his own lifeline, wins the Las Vegas Grand Prix, Norris 2nd, and Alonso takes home another podium finish in 3rd place. Alonso's had a fantastic end to the season, it has to be said. But unfortunately, no podium for us, but we're still the car in front, we're still the drivers to beat here, going into the last race. But obviously, Abu Dhabi's not been a fantastic track for us in the past, so we could find ourselves under pressure from these two guys who finished 1-2 today. We'll have a look now at the final results in this Las Vegas Grand Prix and see what that leaves us going into the final round of the 2024 F1 season.
It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
Leclerc from Norris and Alonso. Hamilton P4, we finish in P5, then 6th place goes to Perez, 7th to Ocon in the end after he gave us a great fight in the mid part of the race. Sainz 8th in the end, that 2-stop wasn't necessary at all for him. Stroll 9th, and Alexander Albon takes the last point for Williams, so good day for them. Russell comes back to P12 in the end from dead last, so good work from him today. In terms of the World Championship then, 17 points to gap between myself and Norris for the final race of the season. Leclerc 24 back, so in with a shout. If both myself and Norris fail to score and Leclerc wins the race, he is world champion. So he's got an outside chance. You never know. Anything could happen. But of course, one title wrapped up already. McLaren winning the Constructors by 156 points as of right now. But guys, that'll do it for this episode of F1 Ultimate Career. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, make sure to like, share and subscribe for more future F1 content. Have an absolutely fantastic day. And I'll see you guys next time for the finale of Season 5.